What's up? So I was out here getting some sun today, and realized it'd probably be a good time to make this video that I've been wanting to make. Been wanting to make this for weeks now. Even attempted once, but I was trying to keep everything in order and find myself falling all over my words all the time because I kept, going on tangents out of order and then trying to go back to in order. So I said fuck it and scrapped it. And anyhow, I've been wanting to make a video about the European 2022-2023 football season, and also World Cup too. I kind of wish I'd been making videos the whole time because there's a lot of stuff that I had said along the way, and some things ended up happening, and I wish I would have had that down. But anyhow, not that it would really make any difference, I suppose. But anyhow, so for years I've been watching international football for. When I say that, I mean like World Cup and Euros. That's about it, because that's about all I could ever find to watch on TV around here. But I've been watching the World Cup and the Euro since the 2010 World Cup was my first World Cup, and the 2012 Euro was my first Euro. So I've been watching those ever since. And I always wanted to be able to watch the club stuff, different leagues in Europe, some different countries and leagues and teams, and be able to follow it. And I never really had the ability to do so. Although I found out, which I don't know how I didn't know this, but that the English Premier League is actually on TV in America, on USA, and maybe another channel, maybe another one affiliated with that channel or something. But they got quite a bit on here. I didn't realize that until this past season. So this year I got ESPN Plus, Paramount Plus. I even ended up getting the Peacock service also for the Premier League, because they don't televise all of it here. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss games from the couple teams I was watching. And with Paramount Plus, that gave me the Italian League. It's also giving me the Brazil and the Argentine League. But I've been watching Flamengo in the Brazilian Serie A. And I've only been watching for a few weeks now, just because the other season ended here back in early June 10th, I believe. And so I've been kind of watching that because that's actually going on right now, because it's wintertime in the Southern Hemisphere. So anyhow, I haven't watched a lot of that league though. Just been kind of watching in the mornings and stuff. When I get to work early and walk and whatnot, I usually would watch football, so I started watching the Brazil League just to kill some time until the season starts back up here in August. But I got the Italian League and through Paramount Plus, and I got the Champions League and the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. So there's nobody in the Conference League this year that I was interested in watching. The Europa League had somebody. Oh, United. United was in the Europa League this year. And then eventually Juventus got bumped down to the Europa League. So I was watching them as well. But with Peacock, I got the English League. And with ESPN Plus, which that app is fucking terrible. I mean, for a company, they're owned by Disney. They got all that fucking money. And they can't make an app that's worth a shit. And when you look at it, you go download, it's like, oh, it shows you how many people voted 1, 2, 3, or 4 stars. Or 5, however many it is. And it shows the top one with the most stars is just almost completely filled, while the other ones barely have anything. Start scrolling through the reviews. Almost everybody gave that fucking app 1, maybe 2 stars. Almost everybody I saw, and I just kept going and going and going. And I even gave them a very low review because that app is a piece of shit, but that's a whole nother story. So with that, I got the Spanish League and the German League. I would like to have been able to watch the French League. I would like to see Paris play this year, especially since Messi's gone now. I went to fucking Miami. That kind of sucks, but I would like to have been able to watch them as well, but I just didn't have access to it. So I was watching 8 teams throughout the season. They were Manchester United, Liverpool, Bayern, Dortmund. Manchester United and Liverpool from England. Dortmund and Bayern from Germany, Juventus and AC Milan from Italy, and blanking here. Barcelona and Real Madrid in Spain. So that's 8 teams that I was watching. Jackie, I'll probably say we, because Jackie watched a whole lot of it with me. But so in the Champions League, I was also watching Paris and Benfica as well. And then as it got, to the knockout round, I didn't watch every knockout match, though I like to get to the point where I do. But I wasn't watching that much, like not everything, until it got down to like the quarterfinals. And then I started trying to like watch every match just to see how the teams that somebody might be playing were playing, And so it is my personal opinion that Bayern should have had trouble this year. They should have won the Champions League. They should have won their league, and they was that when they did. And they should have won the German Cup. They did not win the Champions League or the German Cup. They went to Manchester City, who I am not a fan of, and the German Cup went to Leipzig. I think their second year in a row, I believe they said. So anyway, I wish I could have been watching this stuff since at least 2010, because I really wanted to watch all these different players with their clubs and all the history that was made from especially from 2010 until now. There's a lot of crazy shit happening. You could see the rivalry between Messi and Ronaldo and Madrid and Barcelona during that time period with the fucking players they had on those teams. Anyhow, so once what's it called came down, if Bayern had beaten City and they would have went to the semifinals, I believe. Yeah, semifinals. They would have ended up playing Madrid had Madrid won their match, which Madrid did win that one. But you see, here's what all went wrong, in my opinion. And I said this as it happened. It's one of those things I wish I would have had recorded, because I'm looking back and dude, I should have just fucking record it, post it, so I can go. Sorry, right now he'd be like, hey, go back and check that video and see what I said. Look at the date. So Oliver Kahn, the CEO of Bayern, and Hasan Salihamidzic, who was the sporting director. Kahn was the CEO, because they fucked up. They really fucked up this year. That team was unfucking stoppable. Now, they had some little falters here in the league, but they were still in first place, except for during the international break in March. I think it's the only time. Was it March? Was it March or April? Fuck, might have been May for all. No, could have been May. I don't know. Whenever they did the first round of fucking Euro qualifiers, during that break, they went to second place. And then when they came back, they ended up beating Dortmund, because Dortmund took first place during that time period. And they beat Dortmund 4-1 or something after they came back. But what happened was, Kahn and Salihamidzic, the contract with Nagelsmann was going to be out over at the end of the year. And I'm guessing for whatever reason they were parting ways. That's what it sounded like was coming. And so Thomas Tuchel became available. And instead of setting up some kind of arrangement with him to take over after the season, they decided to just can Nagelsmann and bring him in. And I'm telling you, before that happened, when I found that news, I didn't even know about it, because I don't watch, not only do I not watch news, but I don't watch sporting news either. And I started watching the match, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And I'm like, where's Nagelsmann at? And I started, the match goes on, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was pissed, because I said at that moment, I was like, well, there goes the fucking season. I had no reason to think that. And when they ended up playing Dortmund and just kicked shit out of them, I was like, well, maybe there's hope, but I just don't think so. And I was even saying at that point, I was like, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't win the league this year. Now, they had won the league 10 years in a row. Last season was their 10th year in a row that they won the Bundesliga. And so obviously it's, kind of a big fucking deal. And, but I was pissed, man. I was so pissed when I heard that news. When I saw it, not literally the news, but when I saw that match, I was fucking pissed. And Nagelsmann's last match as the coach. His last two Champions League matches as the coach. They played Paris fucking great. The first match was a little kind of scary once Mbappe came in towards the end. It was like 10, 15 minutes at the end. They brought him in because they were concerned about an injury he was getting over. And when he came in, dude, it was fucking tight, man. It was like everybody in the fucking stadium was probably just clenched up, probably smashing fucking diamond. And really good match, but they started fucking up at the end there, but they managed to not give up a goal. Now, mind you, Bayern, up until this point, up until before that first match against Paris in the round of 16, they had not lost a single match of their first 6 matches in the Champions League. They only gave up 2 goals. Now their group had Inter, Barcelona, and then Victoria Plzeň. And the only 2 goals they gave up were to Plzeň, and they won that match 4-2. So it wasn't like it made any fucking difference, you know. So that's the only 2 goals they gave up. So they played Barcelona twice, never gave up a goal, and they did win their league and they won the Super Cup this year. They just did terrible in European football, but they played Inter twice, and fucking Inter went to the final, and are going to be in the Champions League next year because they finished in the top 4 in the Serie A this year. So they're a good team, and they also won the fucking Coppa Italia too. And they didn't give up a single goal to them either in 2 matches. They played Paris 2 matches. With the fucking team they have, I mean, that is a very impressive squad. I mean, just the fucking... I don't like Neymar, but still, I guess people think he's good. But I'll throw him in the mix anyways. So Neymar, Messi, and you got Mbappe, and somebody else. I don't know. Anyways, but just them alone, I mean, you got a good front to your team. They're a good team, solid squad, and they didn't give up a goal in either match. And it came close in that first match. The first match was pretty good, but that second match they played, sorry, I got sidetracked. The second match that they played against Paris I think that was one of the greatest football matches I have ever seen in my life. Like, as great as the World Cup final was this time, to me that match was just as good. And Bayern ended up winning, I believe it was 2-0. And they didn't give up a goal. You know, they played fucking great. Mbappe was in the whole time, and they just played great. But it was like back and forth. It was like a fucking battle the whole time. Back and forth. Take a shot. Back and forth. Paris go down and take a shot. Bayern come down and take a shot. And just kept going back and forth and back and fucking forth. That was what was really good about it, you know, because it's like watching an NFL game and, you know, 2 teams are just battling out and both teams are just almost fucking scoring. And not quite, you know, you're just waiting for somebody to fucking, you know, finally get that. But it just keeps your attention, you know, because it's such a hard-fought match. And not only that, though, but that one match with both teams, Paris and Bayern, that was probably the most professional match of football I have ever seen, ever. I mean, just the way the players acted. Neymar wasn't out there to be flopping around anyway, so without him out there, there was no flopping. No bullshit, you know, try to fake a foul. A lot of sportsmanship. It seemed like when someone did make a tackle and take someone down, they'd fucking go help pick them up, pat each other on the back, and keep going. There was a point where somebody for Paris, one of the players for Paris, was down and it seemed like he was hurt and needed to be looked at. And the Bayern players kicked the ball out of bounds. And I've seen times where they'll do that and they give possession to the other team. The other team will like hurry up and like just try to take a quick start and run down the field and catch them off guard. But Paris instead, they threw the ball in, passed it from one player to another, and then kicked it right out of bounds for him, get right back to him. I thought that was really fucking cool. But it just seemed like there was a lot of mutual respect and a lot of professionalism and really good sportsmanship in that match. If you didn't see that one, I highly recommend you watch that match. It was, I don't know, if you have Paramount Plus, you can go to Champions League and just start scrolling backwards in the match replays until you find, if you're going backwards, it would be the first one you come upon because they're in chronological order from the end to the most recent. But I don't know, that match was fucking amazing, but then they turned around and just blew it with City. I couldn't fucking believe it. I mean, I could, that's the thing. I was pissed because that was the one team I was concerned about them playing. And sure enough, that's who they get drawn against. And I was like, all right, ain't no thing. Look how they just played, how they've been playing the whole time. And then when, the international break was over and I seen Thomas Tuchel on the sidelines, I was like, well, fuck, there goes that. And that was it. That was it. They lost the first match against City, and I think they drew maybe 1-1 in the second match. I never even got to watch the second match because I ruined it for myself. I fucking ruined it for myself. I mean, it didn't matter because I knew they weren't going to fucking go on to the next round. I just fucking knew it. That's who I wanted to win the most. After that, I wanted Madrid to win. I'd see somebody repeat, and see them win. I like that team a lot, too. I like Barcelona, too, but if I had to pick, I like Madrid better. If I had to pick in all four of the leagues between the two teams that I'm watching, each one, I could pick one over the other. But sometimes it might be situational, it depends on who needs to win more or what it might do for the other team. But, anyhow, started off watching last August, and I almost forgot. I caught, there was a Dortmund match on ESPN, and then on the first week, and then the next week there was a Barcelona match, and then the week after that there was another Dortmund match. And I was like, oh yeah, because I got those apps, not the Peacock one, but I got the other Paramount and ESPN Plus. I got those like midway through the season last year, but I was like, dude, I'm like right in the middle of it. It was like January or February, I think, when I got it. And I was just like, I have no idea what's going on. I still wish I would have just started fucking watching, but for whatever reason I didn't. I just wanted to start fresh on the season, but I forgot about it because I didn't really know for sure exactly when it started. And then when I seen those matches, I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I went and got the apps, and I missed a couple Liverpool matches and a couple United matches early on because there was a couple times where their matches weren't broadcast on TV, so I had to miss a couple of theirs, but that was it. Otherwise, I saw every league. I mean, there might be one match, maybe two matches per team that I didn't see, maybe the whole season. And I'm talking in their league, in their cups, in the Champions League or Europa League or whatever fucking European league they're in. Started watching every single match all the way through, and it was fucking exciting. Although our teams didn't do a whole awful lot this year. United won the EFL Cup. Liverpool won a trip to the fucking Europa League next year, not the Champions League. Dortmund didn't win anything. Bayern won the league. Thankfully, they at least got that, because it came down to the last match. If Dortmund would have won their last match, it didn't matter what Bayern did. It wouldn't have made any difference. But, of course, I'm fine. I wanted Bayern to win anyways, but Dortmund did lose that last match. They might have drawn maybe, but they needed to win. A draw or loss wasn't going to help, so I'm not sure if they lost it or drew, but either way, they didn't get the job done, and Bayern won the league. And it was funny because, they were saying on the thing, the commentators were saying that it was done and over, but yet as they're sitting there, after the match and everybody's on the field, do you see all the players? They're still sitting there looking at their phones and, getting in a huddle, groups of people standing there looking at their phone because I guess either the shit was lagging and was behind on their phones or something. But they already said that it was over and they kept talking about it. They're like, I don't understand why they're still looking. And I'm like, it's done, it's over, They won the league. And all of a sudden they just start celebrating and cheering. So apparently the news got to them eventually. And so after those two comments, Salihamidzic had fired Nagelsmann all season, I was like, dude, they better get fucking canned. Nothing against them personally. Don't know the guys. Nothing against them. And I know I would never wish this on somebody that I don't like. Even someone I don't like, I wouldn't wish this upon. But I was like, dude, they better get fired. They really fucked up, dude. Because if they would have kept Nagelsmann, I really believe he would have won all three. Because they only had 3 losses the entire fucking season while Nagelsmann was there. And I didn't see the early cup matches for some of the cups because I didn't know they were going on early on in the season. So I didn't start watching Cubs until like September. Some of them maybe not till early October. But I'm pretty positive that the 3 losses and the 7 draws they had were all in the league, which they're in first place all but for a couple weeks. No, I forgot they weren't. I think Berlin was in first for a while there too, earlier on before the World Cup. And anyhow, but they fucking, they were right there near the top the whole time. They took the lead and they kept it except for that couple weeks, that week or two. It was like a 2-week period, I think, for that break. I believe it was in March. I'm pretty sure it was in March, late March. But so they were doing great anyways. Even with 7 draws and 3 losses, it didn't make any fucking difference. They were just fucking killing it and only gave up 2 goals in the Champions League. I'm telling you, I really think that they would have taken it all. But anyhow, what can you do? So anyways, so I was talking about the 2 of them, and I was like, dude, sorry. I was like, dude, they had better fucking fire them too. So, in the last match, in Bayern's last match, because of course they played simultaneously with Dortmund, so I couldn't watch both fucking matches. That would have been really cool to watch. Cut it off right as the clock ends on the first one that I watched, so that I don't see anything afterwards. But oh no, it wouldn't matter if they played opposite times. It wouldn't matter. But yeah, they sit and talk about the entire fucking match. They just keep going on and on and on. It's like, dude, it's 2023. Everybody has a fucking smartphone now. Everybody's got one. Kids have one. Everybody's fucking got a smartphone. Old people have them. And if not, they have internet. Damn, everybody's got the internet. And if not, they know somebody that does. Have one of the 2. So they could, if they really wanted to know what's going on in other matches, they could look it up. But during the Champions League too, if they play matches simultaneously. And during the World Cup, I believe they did it too. They always fucking do. Play matches simultaneously. Like maybe the last 2 matches for, I say like the last match day of the group stage. They'll play the 2 teams from the same group at the same time. I'm not 100% sure if that's what they did, but things like that, And it's like, well, damn, I wanted to watch both of them because there's a team in both of those matches I wanted to see. And I didn't want to ruin. But they just fucking yap on and 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 on about the other matches all the fucking time. I don't know why they can't shut the fuck up about that shit, because it really pisses me off when they ruin matches for me. But anyways, I wish they'd fucking stop doing that shit though. Nobody needs to fucking know on the match you're watching. Commentate the fucking match you're watching. You're actually you're working at, not the fucking rest of them that are going on. Anyhow, fucking lost my place with that one. Oh, yeah, the last match of the Bundesliga. But anyways, I was like, dude, they better get rid of him. So as I'm watching the match, I'm like, damn, I don't even see Kahn out there at all. He's always sitting by Salihamidzic all the time. Always, 2 of them right there next to each other. And, watch, that's probably not true either. It's probably like half the time or something. Anyways, they're together a lot in the stands, sitting there watching the match. And I didn't see him. And they didn't show him at all on TV. I was like, I wonder what the fuck is that? I don't know. So, Salihamidzic was there, watched the match. As soon as it was over, he was down in the field celebrating with the team, cheering, taking pictures. Yeah, celebrating. Before he even got off the field, they called and fired his ass and let him know he was done. I was like, damn, dude. They could have gave him a day at least. Shit. They weren't fucking around. It was like they had his number already dialed in the phone. They're just waiting until the fucking final whistle, and they're like, boop. Yes, by the way, you can clean out your shit and leave, please. Thank you. And leave the keys. Like they fucking, and I found out later that Kahn was not permitted to go to the match. I don't know what he did to fucking cause somebody to fucking ban him from the match, but he was not allowed to go. And there was some interview with him about that, which I didn't really fucking watch because I don't watch the news part of it. But I don't know. All in all, it was a great season. The World Cup in the middle. I want to say that was the first time it's ever happened in the middle of the season, or it might have been the first time and during that part of the season or that part of the year or whatever, when it was, was played or something. Something that definitely doesn't happen very often, where it's played in the middle of the season. And I didn't realize, because I watched international football over the years, and you got some really good teams out there. They seem like they play together a lot. But then you watch, and it's like, as I start watching the season, I'm like, damn, they only got like a week. I think they only had like week to 2 weeks to practice with their international team before the World Cup started. I'm like, geez, dude, that's fucking crazy. They really have no time together. If they have a tournament in the summer, or when they have like little international breaks for, go play a couple rounds of a Euro qualifier or World Cup qualifier or what have you, and a couple friendlies in there, and it's just like, wow, dude, I fucking didn't realize that's. I thought they spent at least a decent amount of time together, but I also didn't realize that the football season's like 10 months long either, which is fantastic. It's got to be one of the shortest fucking off seasons, at least shorter than NFL, which is what I used to watch. That was like March, April, May, June, July, August. That's a 7-month off season, and I just didn't fucking care about the preseason, so I never watched that shit. And so, anyways, that's nice. But the World Cup this year, fucking Germany, man. They win the World Cup 2014. 2018, they don't even make it out of the group stage. 2022, don't make it out of the group stage. All right, cool. Spain got beat by either Morocco or fucking Croatia, I believe. Pretty sure they got knocked out by one of them too. And I seriously couldn't tell you which one it was though. But I couldn't believe it. I think they made it to either they got knocked out in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. One of them two. Honestly, I don't remember. I'm not sure which one it was. Anyways, though, but they didn't make it reasonably far, which I was pretty pissed about. My two teams didn't do good at all. I mean, at least Spain made it out of the fucking group stage, but, if you're out the next round, what does it really matter? But, anyhow, it was an interesting World Cup. France, I was wondering how they were going to do, because they were in the 2016 Euro final against Portugal, lost in a penalty shootout. Then 2018 they win the World Cup. 2022 they're back in the final, and pretty sure they've been playing good in other various things that I haven't been able to see during that time. They might have won one of the Nations Leagues. I think Portugal, now Spain, and maybe France. Maybe, I forget. I just looked that up here recently. There's only been 3 of them played, but Spain at least did win that this year. They won the Nations League. I got to watch the quarterfinals. Well, I got to watch like some of the matches of the last round back in fucking September, and then they wait all the way till June to have the semifinals and the final. I don't know why the fuck they wait so long, but that's what they do. And so I saw one Spain match last September. I saw like maybe one Germany match. I don't know if I got to see France at all or not. I'm not sure. Portugal, I think we saw it once. So, I don't know, we get to watch, there's, an assortment on, but it's just, I can't pick the teams that I want to watch all the time. I gotta just pick from what's available, which is only like a portion of of all the matches. But the qualifiers have been straight. I got to see a decent amount of teams that I like in the qualifiers. But on the World Cup, man, by the time it got down to the final with Argentina and France, I like both teams. I like players on both the teams. I kind of wanted to see Messi win a World Cup. At the same time, I was like, man, I always like Ronaldo a little better. So I was hoping that he wouldn't have that over Ronaldo, because not everybody's definitely going to say Messi's the best. But, I don't know. They both dipped out for money, though. Ronaldo's in Saudi Arabia. I heard he wanted to come back, but Madrid wouldn't take him back, and I think he's still out there as far as I know. Benzema went out to the fucking Saudi League. Ramos went to the fucking Saudi League. At least I got to watch a handful of Paris matches in the Champions League with him before he disappeared, because I can't fucking watch the Saudi League at home, not unless it's like the Club World Cup. And speaking of Club World Cup, that's something like, when I looked at the format of the current Club World Cup, it's like every year, and it's all the teams that won their continental, like the biggest continental, you know, like each Champions League basically from each continent. The winner of each Champions League play each other, and the host of whoever's hosting it, I think, and then maybe one other team possibly, maybe not. And it was a real small affair, like a week or two. Am I still recording here? I can't see shit. All I see is just a black screen. I can't see a fucking thing in here because it's so bright. We had no smoke in the sky today from the fucking wildfires in Canada. That shit was blocking out the sun quite a bit for a while here. For a while. It was some really like hazy looking fucking days. But it's clear as a fucking bella and these big ass cotton ball clouds in the sky. So anyways, I'm losing track. Club World Cup though. And so like Madrid, they were in it because they won the Champions League last year. This year, City will be in it. I mean, it's not bad. But for a Club World Cup, that's kind of a chintzy fucking tournament to say you're the best in the fucking world. I don't know about all that. But, you know, I like the idea of what they do. But like Madrid didn't even have to play in the preliminary round, whatever the fuck, first round. They went right in the semifinals, didn't have to play the first round. Don't know why that is. Probably from this something UEFA or FIFA coefficient shit that I've been reading about. Maybe that's why. I don't know a whole lot about that. It's basically rankings, and I'm sure Europe and South America rank the best. You know, so anyways. Flamengo did make it into there though. They got knocked out though in the semifinal maybe. I didn't see their match though. But they were there. I guess they won the Champions League last year. So I got the Brazil League, but I can't watch the fucking South American Champions League. I have the Asian one though, so that's got Middle Eastern teams. So if like Al Hilal is playing in the Champions League next year, I could see Ramos play, you know? Then I could watch him play on that. But I wish I had the South American one. And I don't have the fucking Brazil Cup either, which is weird. I don't have that. Nah, that one may be on ESPN. Because see, they have the Spanish and the German league, but they don't have these other leagues, but they have both cups in England, the EFL Cup and the FA Cup are on there. The Copa del Rey from Spain's on there. The Copa Italia is literally, those matches are mixed in right in Paramount Plus and Serie A, and the live matches and the replays, they just put them right in there, right in along with it, and they'll just label it Copa Italia, so you know it's a cup match. I like that method the best. But and they also have they got the Dutch league, I think, and there's another league too, maybe the Belgium league I think I have available. But you know, I haven't been exploring too much into those yet. Thought about watching Ajax maybe this coming year. But I don't know, I just wish I had access to fucking everything. Just everything. All the tournaments, all the cups, everything, fucking all the leagues, everything. I wish I could sit and watch the Lithuanian fucking football league if I wanted to, you know? I just do. Oh, I flipped it around. There we go. It's kind of easy to look at the ground now. So anyhow, I mean, the fucking video is nothing. You can just, this is really more for listening than watching anyways. There's no cool guns in it and no other shit. Nothing else. I don't know what else I fucking make videos of, but no guns to play with this time to get people's attention. I've been wanting to do a video too about all the jerseys I got this year. Started buying some fucking football jerseys. I got a couple nice long sleeve player version ones too. They're fucking cool. But some of the things are extremely fucking pricey. For no reason. Just fucking regular ass jersey, you know, player version, long sleeve player version ones especially, are fucking stupidly expensive. Stupidly fucking expensive. I mean, like 300, 900, 1,000 just for a regular fucking shirt. Not like one worn by the player. It wasn't signed, nothing. I've seen signed Benzema jerseys. I don't think it was one he wore, but just him sign his actual autograph on a jersey with a letter of authenticity and shit. It's like $300. But then people want to charge $1,000 just for a fucking shirt that hung in a fucking rack or was in a warehouse somewhere. This is my little fucking hangout spot at home. This is one of the places I walk. I also walk in that parking lot over there too. All this room back here, this is the end of the road. Or the last building except for this little storage, or a little like maintenance shop for the school over here. And then I just got all this shit. It's wild. Fucking more people coming into Chicago. Like, we need more fucking people around here. See people cruising over there sometimes. You got this big field over here with some nets for playing football. And there's the fucking homestead. The Tan and Brown building. That's where we've been for 6 years. It's been a while. I think we just hit 6 years last month. Yeah, it was last month of 6 years. Planning on coming here for, a year, 2, maybe 3 years. Fucking 6 years later, I'm like, fucking no intentions of moving out. But, anyhow. Like, this is just gonna be fucking pointing at the ground, I guess, here while I talk. So, the Club World Cup, I think what they should do, now I've heard this, I heard they were going to do it, and then I heard they weren't, I heard it was off. I heard the people at FIFA just fucking laughed it out the door. And now I see that it's actually set up and it's supposed to be coming. Is an official, full-blown Club World Cup. Like a World Cup with club teams from all over the fucking world. From like little leagues too, like little no-name countries that fucking, like countries you don't hear about. I mean, not talking shit about your countries there or whoever, but I'm just saying ones that you don't hear about football teams or that nation's football team ever, like small leagues, get a team or two in there, like just some, mix it up where you really get. I mean, obviously not too many teams like, what I'm saying though. I mean, I don't want like a bunch of shitty teams either, but. Like, I want to see the world's best teams fucking take each other on. But if somebody from a fucking country that people don't hear much about were to make it into it, that'd be fucking cool. And like a normal, just like the World Cup, 32 team, do it for about a month, every 4 years. And sorry, I'm brain farting here. But yeah, to do that and do it every 4 years and make it, I guarantee you that would be as big as the World Cup, easily. I'm so fucking astonished. Like, I didn't realize, like, I thought international football was like the bigger deal to the players, but I don't think it is. I think club shit is far more important to them and to the world. Like, it's just more popular and more important than even world football. I think that's from what I gather. So it's like, I can't even fucking tell if I'm still recording. Jeez, I can't see anything on this fucking screen. Fuck. Anyways, World Cup. Oh yeah, I was surprised they didn't start doing this shit fucking decades and decades ago. They came up with the different various Champions Leagues. Why the fuck wouldn't they come up with something like this decades ago? Well, there could already been a long, rich history to it. Although I'd be very happy to be able to witness the very first one of its kind. So a Club World Cup, 32 teams from all over the world, where every continent is represented, and every confederation is represented, and have a nice month-long tournament every 4 years. I would absolutely love it. I guarantee it'd be huge because I heard FIFA was wanting to make the World Cup every 2 years. Why? I have no idea, because that's fucking stupid as shit. That is terrible. That would take away from the integrity of it, the how rare it is to even be able to play in one, let alone win one, And for any other reason other than money. That's the only reason. I mean, when it boils down to it, people can put anything together they want. When it boils down to it, it's all money. That's what it's about. So instead of fucking up the World Cup, why not make a new tradition and do the Club World Cup every 4 years on a different year than, the World Cup and like the Euro and the Copa America are going to be in 24, the summer 24. So like, and then 26 is the next World Cup. So 25 would be a great year. This year would have been cool too, but hey, that's all right. But 2025, that's when they're supposed to do it. I forget where it's supposed to be, if they've even decided that yet. But it's supposed to be a 32-team, full-blown, month-long Club World Cup. And I would fucking love it, because that's what I love about the Champions League. That's what Champions League football is my favorite, because I love being able to watch these big clubs from one country play big clubs of another country. It's just, it's amazing, and it doesn't happen a lot, you know what I mean? Even though it's every year, it still isn't that much, because the teams are put into groups anyways, and then the first, round or two of the knockout stage, they can't be drawn against anyone from their own country or anyone from their group. Now, against from their own country, I get that, but even someone from their group, they can't play them again until, the quarterfinals, or quarterfinals, maybe? I don't know, I'm kind of vague on some of these things in my first season here. Maybe it was the semifinals when they took off the restrictions. But even when you're getting drawn into your groups, you can't play. Thankfully, this is a good idea. You can't play against anyone in your own country, because the whole point is for teams to play teams from other countries. So it's cool. I looked into the trying to figure out how many teams come from what countries each year in the Champions League, and then how they figure it. And then trying to learn about the whole playoff system, which is fucking crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. The whole structure is fucking insane for the smaller teams to get in. For a team to actually have to start in the first round of that qualifying shit for the Champions League to go all the way on to win it would be fucking amazing. That would be, that's damn near impossible. But anyways, it's a very complicated, intricate system. So, the top 4 leagues, I wasn't sure if it's the top 4 or top 5, because not familiar with all the teams from all the countries, so I wasn't sure. I knew Marseille, I don't know how you say it, from France and Paris were both in there, but I didn't know if there was another team or two from Paris in there. Because I couldn't watch their league this year either, so I couldn't figure it out that way. But I noticed, the top 4 teams, and I guess this could change based on those coefficients. I guess it's based on maybe the last 5 years of performance based on the leagues. And so the 4 leagues that I was watching, Germany, Spain, Italy, and England, those are the 4 biggest ones. The top 4 teams, the teams that finished 1st through 4th place in this past season, are going to be in this upcoming Champions League this next season. The 5th place team, I thought it was the 5th place team went to Europa League, and the 6th place team went to the Conference League. But I swear, and I could be completely wrong, but I swear I was watching a match and they showed the table, and I really thought there was 2 spots for Europa League spot, and the 7th place was the Conference. I don't remember which one of the leagues the 4 that was. Maybe the Italian league, maybe Spanish. I don't know, but maybe that is the case. Maybe based on the coefficients, I didn't really look into the Europa League qualification process and all that. But anyhow, the fucking structure is crazy, but it's cool. I like it a lot. And a Club World Cup will be fucking amazing. What's it saying to me? Oh, I can't see a fucking thing, dude. Nothing. I can't see anything at all on the screen. 43 minutes. Jeez, 44 minutes. So, I think it'd be great though. I think it would within a certain length of time, it would end up rivaling the World Cup, if not even overtaking it, possibly. But I think they should keep the current form as well, instead of doing away with the current format of it. I think they should keep that and do it every year and call it the UEFA Club Confederation Cup. That would be cool. I'm pissed they got rid of the Confederation Cup. I only got to watch it 1 year. I never even knew about it. 2017, I just happened to fucking catch it on TV, and I was like, no shit. So I got a car coming. Fuck. Pause time. If I can see the pause button. Alright, it's just my neighbors. But yeah, I think I caught the 2017 one, and then that was the last one I did. But that was the year before the World Cup, and it was like a mini World Cup. It was just like a little bitty, like a 7 or 8 team tournament. I think it was 8 teams. The winner of the most recent World Cup, the 6 Confederation winners, and the host. And it was in the host nation of the World Cup the following year, and it was just like a little mini World Cup that they did, like a practice run for it, you know? I thought that was really cool. But if they're going to replace that with a Club World Cup, fuck it. But I had no idea how much these guys play. It's like, especially the good teams, and, you know, the ones that go in the Cups and the Champions League, everything, all year long. I mean, you're looking at almost every weekend and midweek. Most weeks, all season long for 10 months. With, you know, little breaks here and there, and some of them take like a winter break too, I believe. Not sure how long that is, a few weeks, month maybe. Some of them had a break after the World Cup was over. Like the German League, they didn't start back till like January 20th. And I don't know, anyways, but yeah, that would be fucking cool. That'd be a really cool tournament. That way you can actually, like, you know, make the fucking teams that you're playing in, because with the World Cup and Euro and things like that, like, you're limited on who you can even have on the fucking team. And speaking of which, dude, a lot of players that play for Germany also play for Bayern and play together regularly, week in and week out, weekends, midweek, all season long, playing together. Same with Spain and Barcelona. A lot of fucking players for Spain play for Barcelona. And it's like, I figured both of those teams would have a really good chance of going far in the World Cup, because they play together all the fucking time. They're basically just changing fucking uniforms and playing with almost the same fucking people. And no, apparently that's not the fucking case. That is not the case. At least it was not this year, I'll say. I mean, I'm sure there's been multiple Euros and World Cups that have happened where, you know, players on those two teams or on any individual team. Same like Madrid, you have a lot of players for Spain on Madrid in the past, and I guess, I don't know if that's helped in the past or not, but it did not seem to help this time. And yeah, I don't know. It was still a decent cup. Morocco and Croatia, damn, man, they fucking, both of them were going just balls out all the way to the third place match. I mean, they got real close. They got really close. That final was something else. I had a feeling I ruined it for myself, seeing like I was reading something, and as I'm scrolling down, it just suggested articles were underneath it, and it was like I saw something and I had a feeling Argentina won it, but I wasn't positive. But I think I ruined it for myself, but I wasn't sure. And then as I'm watching, and then I ended up somehow on accident, like maybe I like fast forwarded on accident, like I touched the screen and it jumped me to towards the end of the regulation. Something happened where I was like, I knew, oh no, I think I knew it went to extra time. That was it. So as I'm seeing Argentina going up, I'm like, well, I know they're at least going to fucking tie it. I know France is at least going to come back and tie it, and they did. But it was still, even knowing that, it was still exciting. Then after that, I wasn't 100% sure what was going to happen. And then Argentina scored, and extra time that France came back and scored. I was like, holy fucking moly, dude, this is fantastic. I mean, that was an amazing final. That was really fucking good. Between two heavyweight teams, too, you know. And France is a good fucking squad. They really are. I was watching some of their qualifiers here recently in June. They had another 2 rounds of it. Which, see, those things I had never thought about before either. I don't know how much this shit was broadcast in America before this season, you know, before now. But I never thought about watching the fucking qualifiers. Like, duh. So I started adding that in the mix. I started coming up with all different kind of shit. Never even heard of the Nations League until this season. got to watch some of that in the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the final. I think they said next year, for the next tournament, they're gonna do a quarterfinal also. I think that's what they said. Should be cool. You know, a little bit more to watch. But I was pulling for Spain. I was definitely pulling for Spain. And they fucking did it. Got nothing against Italy. I don't know. It's like Italy's just one of them teams where I like them. I like the players, some of the players on the team. Not against them. I wasn't. The only reason I was disappointed to see them win that last Euro was because I wanted other teams to win, you know. But yeah, no. But I was just like, man, I was really pulling for Spain though. Wouldn't have been disappointed to see Italy win it, but like, I really want to see fucking Spain win something, because they hadn't won any major tournaments since the 2012 Euro. 11 years went by with no after that, you know, Euro, and then a World Cup. Win the Euro in 2008. 2 years later, you win the World Cup. 2 years later, you win the Euro, and then after that, 11 years with nothing. All that kind of shit though. That kind of like success. The fucking balloon flying above. That was weird. Saw a shadow. I thought it was a fucking bird. There he goes. See all kind of shit back here. Yeah, 11 years goes by, but that kind of success on an international level, there's no way it's fucking easy. I mean, that's the only time that had ever been done. 3 major tournaments in a row.